Day. We're just about to start 30 more days of sheltering in place, according to the federal government. So looks like we're in this for the long haul. So we're going to alternate here between news streams like this, and then we'll do sometimes call-in shows. I think I'm going to make Sundays the regular viewer call-in show day. So that'll be that. And then occasionally we'll do just maybe an Ask Me Anything if nothing else has come up. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. We have 3 great stories to discuss. And then, of course, at the end of the stream, as always, you can ask me anything you'd like for the final 10 minutes. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to see you. So where is everybody streaming from today? Let's just do a quick, where is everyone coming from? Yeah, Chris, all the days do kind of feel the same, especially because I worked all weekend. I'm going to try and take Saturdays off. I found that if I don't look at my phone in the evening, that helps a little bit. Let's see. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the emojis. There's a little bit of a delay, so I'm waiting for you guys to hear what I asked you. Ingrid says, growing restless in Dallas, Texas. Oh, you're still sick. I'm glad you're okay. Abigail's in Houston. Hey, Cody Dalton. Layla is working from home in Austin, Texas. Also another Texas. Debrino's in Toronto. Let's see here. Daniel's on break at work. Manny's in bed in Queens. Let's see here. Lady Jennifer Snow is in Cleveland, Ohio. Joey's in Berlin. Love Star is in Rochester, New York. Jeff's in Michigan. Scott's still in Palm Springs. I'm so jealous. Let's see here. Dancing Dog is eating doodles in Boston with her cat. Roxanne, thanks for joining. Spencer's in Cleveland, Ohio as well under quarantine. Let's see here. David's procrastinating, doing homework in Sweden. You still have homework. I guess people are doing online school, right? Nuno is quarantined in Portugal. Alan's also doing homework in Mexico. CJ says on a video conference call. we won't make too much noise. Dwayne's also in Houston. Samuel's in British Columbia. Eddie's in Smyrna, Georgia. Let's see here. Andrew's tired of being at home in Barcelona. Oh wow, John's in Hawaii. What a place to be quarantined in. Carlos is eating breakfast. Daniel is playing with my Marvel figures here in San Diego. And Lucas is in Brazil, trying to bake a cake for my mom's birthday tomorrow. Oh, it's my dad's birthday today. I'm going to have to, I've already wished him happy birthday on the phone, but it's very weird not to be able to see him. All right, so let's go to today's 3 stories. And then in the final 10 minutes of the stream, you can ask me anything that you would like. All right, so story number 1. Let me put my little marker in here. I didn't get to the top just yet, so I got to move it back. Hold on. Oh, that's me. Damn it. There we go. All right, let me fix my video. All right, so let's see here. All right, so Michael Bay. I can't believe it. 6 Underground is not a particularly good movie. It has some very good action sequences in it, but it is not a great movie. In fact, it's pretty bad in spots, like really bad. But yeah, we're going to be talking about 2 people today associated with that film who are getting more work. Deals are starting to be signed. And in fact, when we talk about Lock and Key, I'll explain to you, that's very nice of you to also happy birthday to my dad. I will explain to you why Lock and Key would get renewed for season 2, even under these circumstances. But Michael Bay just signed a new deal with Sony. We just talked about Sony earlier today. Sony, of course, delaying their entire summer slate. That video is currently up on the channel. But now they're also making deals. They're like, someday things will go back to normal, and when they do, we want to be in business with Michael Bay. Now, Michael Bay, love him or hate him, and I think we all have a love-hate relationship with Michael Bay. He does do occasionally good work. For instance, Bad Boys for Life, of course, is based on his original 2 films. He's not really directly involved with the new one, but he had a cameo in it, and that was a big hit for Sony. So he gets results, basically, right? Now, even 6 Underground, his management is able to say, hey, he got 100 million views on Netflix, and this is quite the qualifier. It's the 2nd most watched film that they have themselves released in 2019. I think because everybody was like, Michael Bay and Ryan Reynolds, let's try it. But remember, at Netflix, they will count, even if you only watch the first few minutes of something, they feel that's a view. So, I mean, I guess they feel it's like a ticket sold, right? I mean, if you walk out on the movie, they still get the money, basically, right? I know sometimes some theaters will refund you, but, you know, for the most part, sucker. All right, so anyway, he's going to be making both film and TV projects for Sony. And the first one up, when he can go back to work, will be Black 5, his own idea, which sounds already like a Michael Bay movie. But he's also, as Alfonso just pointed out, he is a very prolific producer. He's done a lot of horror. He produces both the Purge and Quiet Place franchises. And he's also just in the John Krasinski business. Who knows if he produced some good news on YouTube? I don't think he did. But, you know, he produces John Krasinski's Jack Ryan show on Amazon as well. So Sony, I think this will be a pretty strong stream of content for them, so I can understand them making the deal. I don't know of the quality of the content they're going to get, but I think it'll be mostly watchable. All right, so that's the first story of the day. So good for Michael Bay. You know, it just goes to show you, never give up, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and he's signing deals. All right. Good job for his management team as well, who got him that deal. All right, so the second story of the day, here we go down there. All right, the second story of the day is, speaking of Six Underground and Netflix, Dragon's Lair is coming to Netflix after a very long negotiation period. They finally got the rights, and it looks like Ryan Reynolds isn't signed, but he's circling to star. So let's talk about this project. I think this is going to be a really big deal, although I have heard from a source that it's actually pretty far away, even though it's starting to come to fruition. It's still years, plural, away. But anyway, and time's moving very slowly these days. All right, so what's Dragon's Lair? If you don't know what Dragon's Lair is, it was an extremely popular video game in the 1980s, and it was from Don Bluth, who you might recall started out as a Disney animator and then went to start his own animation studio, which actually for a while there gave Disney a bit of a run for its money. It did projects like American Tail, Secret of Nim, All Dogs Go to Heaven. It was doing pretty well, but then it eventually hit a wall. But for a while there, it was like before there was DreamWorks, there was Don Bluth. It's interesting, Disney spawns almost all of its own competition because John Lasseter, of course, came from there as well. But they're really, for a long time, they were the only animation game. So that's, of course, where everybody came from. So anyway, this was a huge hit, extremely popular video game. It's basically a guy's idea of what a Disney princess movie would be, right? It's definitely more adult. You can see what Princess Daphne is wearing there, very sheer costume, and it was very comedic. Mika, you're pointing out Red Notice. Red Notice is also Netflix, so Ryan Reynolds is very much in the Netflix business. Red Notice is on hold. It can't film because of coronavirus. So Red Notice it was just beginning to film, and they had to stop. So anyway, this was a very big deal, and the writers are going to be from the Lego Movie, the first one, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I thought was actually very entertaining. So I think this is a pretty darn good package that's coming together. It will be live action, and we'll see who they get to direct it. Now, I would love for them to find new talent. There are funny actors out there who I think could be a great Dirk. But I do think that Ryan Reynolds is already doing a video game, a movie, of course, with Free Guy. But I think he'd be a really good Dirk. I think he's a pretty easy sell in this role. Princess Daphne and also the Wizard Mordok will be very strong. We'll look to see who's going to be cast there as well. Those are crucial roles. Princess Daphne will be a fantastic role for somebody. I'd love for it to go to somebody who could make it funny instead of playing it just straight. I would love for it to be Betty Gilpin. Wouldn't that be great? I love Betty Gilpin. She'd be very funny. Just like he's opposite Jodie Comer for Free Guy, although that would make it very much like Free Guy. Now, I think this could be like the new Princess Bride. Oh, Blake Lively, Mika. That's a pretty good choice. Blake Lively would be great. I think that would be a great choice. I think she's very funny. And she has the hair. I like that idea. I think that's a very good idea. So anyway, let's see what happens. But this will be maybe the new Princess Bride, which of course Ryan Reynolds also referenced in his Deadpool Christmas PG-13 cut. Yeah, it's a lot of Ryan Reynolds. I don't know for sure if it'll work out. Lloyd, it's basically he has to rescue Princess Daphne from the wizard and a dragon. It's like, it's your basic, Disney fairy tale. But again, from the guy's perspective and being more adult. It's very cute. Ryan Reynolds doesn't always deliver, but I think this is just a very good choice. That's, Sander, I also like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I think that's also a very nice choice. So there's some great choices for who could be Princess Daphne. I just want them to do something clever and funny with it. But yeah, so I think this sounds like a very good project, and I think Ryan Reynolds, boy, speaking of not giving up, his career was dead for so long, and then he willed Deadpool into being, and now look at him, he's like an A-lister, even though he still doesn't have consistent A-list box office. But he keeps getting work, and I think that's really impressive. All right, so that's the second story of the day. Now, the third story of the day is that Lock and Key has been renewed for season 2, also on Netflix. Netflix is doing a lot of business, although I would like to point out that both Netflix and AT&T Warner Media have set up huge funds to pay their employees, which I think is really wonderful during this time, even though they're not in production, at least like through May, I believe. All right, so anyway, Lock and Key, very good show. I said in my review it was the horror version of Lost in Space, which it was family horror to Lost in Space's family sci-fi. And the funny thing is that nobody talks about these shows. Nobody talks about Lost in Space. It came out at New Year's. It was amazing. No one talks about Lock and Key. It was fantastic. It came out in early February. But they're both getting renewed. Lock and Key got renewed for season 2. Lost in Space got renewed for its final season, season 3. How could they not renew it on the cliffhanger that it ended on? But I'm very excited. I really hope that these shows, I don't know, it's weird. There are these great shows on Netflix that nobody talks about. No one's talking about Ozark. It's phenomenal. No one cares. It's sad. But anyway, how would this work? So just to give you an idea, how would this, Lloyd, it's definitely worth watching. Lock and Key is very, very good. They spent a lot of money on it, just like they spent a lot of money on Lost in Space. These are movie quality projects. But anyway, I think it's definitely as good as The Haunting of Hill House, Sufjan, but it's more family oriented, where The Haunting of Hill House is a little bit more adult. But anyway, how will they do this with the coronavirus situation and production shut down? Well, here's the wonderful thing. A writer's room can work from home. They can just Zoom and talk to each other, no problem. And then they can even hire directors and have them start to work on storyboarding. And they can get to a point where all they have to do is go on set, go on location, when they can finally film again. So I think that's one of the reasons, although Netflix just canceled a bunch of shows too, so they're not just renewing everybody, but I'm very happy that Lock and Key has been renewed. It's a very, very good show. If you're looking for something to watch right now, I highly recommend it. I might start on Movie Math doing a recommendation section where I'll recommend stuff for you to watch, just to add to that show. All right, so let's go to the Q&A. All right, so hold on. All right, it's 4:15, so, and also later today my Harley Quinn review will go up. It's all ready. It'll just go up probably around 6 o'clock today. All right, so it's 4:15. We'll go till 4:26, basically. You can ask me anything that you would like. I am watching Tiger King. I started it last night. It's weird. It's real weird. Ozark sucks, Crystal. What? Okay. Cedric says, do you think that the Eternals is probably safe? I think it depends on how much post-production has been slowed down by them having to... Mika, I don't have any information on that. If I don't answer a question and you ask it so many times, I'm not answering it. All right, so anyway, I think that Eternals... if it's delayed a lot, hey Miss Bubbles, if it's delayed a lot, if its post-production is delayed, it might not make it. And it also depends what Disney decides to do with Black Widow. If they decide not to go with streaming, we've been saying for a while now that the most obvious thing to do would be to stick it in the November date. So I think that's really what's up in the air. Joseph says, hey Joseph, why hasn't Warner Brothers moved Tenet? I believe they haven't moved Tenet because they feel that there's some chance that I think they're playing, as I said today, they're playing chicken. I think, as we've discussed before, whoever can get into theaters first, whenever anybody feels, it's a moving target though, because there's when theaters open, and then there's when people feel comfortable going back to the theaters. But Warner Brothers is betting that that'll be mid-July. I think that's a really, really risky bet, but I don't think it's an impossible bet, and it could pay off huge. The riskier the bet, the bigger the dividends if you win. So I think that's what's going on. But that's why they haven't moved it yet. Warner Brothers is taking a lot of risks. They're not being as conservative as Sony was yesterday. Oh, Big Witch. I love The Boys. The Boys should be done, too. I wish they would rush that out. They were supposed to drop a Boys Season 2 trailer on March 15th at the Paley Fest. But that was canceled, and they never debuted the trailer anywhere else, which is unfortunate. The movie lover says The Rock confirms Hobbs and Shaw 2. Well, I think he's trying to look like things are happening for him. I think, I don't blame him. That's the business, He's working on projects. It's so exciting. Hobbs and Shaw was a successful movie. Why don't you rent it today? Because we're making another one. But all that means is that because he produces them, all that means is that he's talking about it with his team. So, I'm not saying it won't happen, but until the studio says they're making until Universal says Hobbs and Shaw 2, that's all it's going to be. Sufjan says, what did you think of the Westworld episode? I wonder who she is. I wonder who Tessa Thompson really is, who her character really is. The noise, my computer's overheating a little bit, and so it's running, I don't know why it's doing that, but that's what that sound is. It's my computer making a whirring noise. It's trying to cool itself down. I apologize. All right, so that's what it sounds. That's what it is. It's the computer thing. So what was I talking about? Westworld. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I really like that show. Although, as I tweeted, it's turned into Terminator starring a young Robin Wright and young Michael Biehn. You should definitely watch Saving Mr. Banks, Daniel. It's an amazing film, especially if you like behind-the-scenes stories. Hey, Al Jankovic. Let's see here. Cody, I just explained the audio situation. Chico, I'm glad that your sandwich worked out. I'm glad you were able to make the Harley Quinn sandwich. Let's see here. Daniel, I agree that Ben and Laura Linney should get Emmy nominated, and I think probably will. The Movie Lover says, why do you think that Sony delayed Morbius to March instead of giving it the October date for Venom? I think because Venom 2 is like a guaranteed hit, and I think Morbius is a very questionable movie. Jared Leto, I don't think is in a good position anymore as a box office draw. And I think that Venom 2 was a huge hit. It made over $800 million worldwide, and now it's adding Woody Harrelson, and it's going to have more symbiotes, and it's directed by Andy Serkis. That's pretty amazing. Missionary J says, this sofa looks like the perfect... I'll tell you, this sofa is not the perfect place to curl up and watch a movie. I have a small apartment, so it's an apartment sofa, which means it's smaller than your average sofa. So you can't lie down on it. And I don't have an ottoman, so I don't really have anywhere to put my feet up. And so I'm spending a lot of time in here, and so it's hard to find a way to be comfortable, to be honest with you. I'm sure everybody's having the same problems. I have a counter, so sometimes I stand and edit. But it's tough. Alfonso, I'm very excited for Killing Eve Season 3. Didn't love Season 2 at the end, but I love that show, so I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. Lucas, I've never done cosplay, but I have dressed up for Halloween. Let's see here. Joseph, the Onward Watch-Along on Friday is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Josh says, when do you think we'll get movie trailers? June. If they don't move the July, if they don't move Tenet, you'll start to get them like in June. But they're not going to release trailers because they're not sure about their release dates. So you're going to have to get really close to the release dates, and they have to be really sure that they're releasing the movies to put a trailer out there, because they don't want to waste a trailer if the movie's not going to open. Crystal, I hope you're not stalking our poor PTT viewer. I've seen your tweets. Eddie, Eastern Standard Time for the Onward Watch-Along. There are links already up on the main page, so you can go and see it. So you can click on it and you'll know where the link is. Austin, my favorite Hitchcock film by far and away is Rear Window, one of my top 3 films of all time. I love it. Let's see here. Am I getting cabin fever, Big Witch? I sure am. I really am. I like to just go for walks. That's one of the great things about living in New York City. To walk and stuff. Just go around and walk around my neighborhood, just stretch my legs. Actually, I walk every morning. So not to be able to do that is not great. Braden, I did see that Bob Iger does a master class. The people they get to do master classes are impressive. Very impressed. I actually watched the Natalie Portman commercial the other day because I was bored, and I was like, let's see what you got, Natalie Portman. And I was like, this looks like a pretty good acting class. Zorro, The Mandalorian Season 2 is wrapped, so they're working on post-production. It would be great if they could move it up. It's supposed to come out, as you know, like in the fall. But if they could have it come out sometime in the summer, that would be wonderful. Oh, hey, Danielle. No problem. There'll be a stream tomorrow. Morris says, biggest cutback. Well, I have no expenses because I'm not going anywhere. I don't buy anything. I'm just spending money on food and like supplies right now. I feel bad. The department stores keep sending me emails being like, would you like to buy some clothes? And I'm like, no, I would not, because there's nowhere to go. Oh, it's my pleasure, Eddie. That's a very nice thing for you to say. Lloyd, I'm not surprised that masterclass is expensive, considering, I mean, how do you think they get those people? They pay them a bunch of money. Emily, they can't release WandaVision because they didn't finish filming it, unfortunately. Daniel says, will Falcon and the Winter Soldier move up from August? They had like a week of shooting left on that show, so I don't know how crucial that was and if they can do without it. It would be great if it moved up, but I'm not sure if they can. George says, would you be able to buy or rent Black Widow on YouTube? Yeah, wherever you can buy Onward right now is where you'd be able to buy Black Widow. Sophia, unfortunately, Mindhunter is done. I can't, that doesn't, never say never. Like years from now, they could decide to bring it back, but it's done for the foreseeable future, unfortunately. Terry, Fig Newtons is a good choice. I just finished some golden Oreos over the past few days. They were delicious. I also have some fruit slices that I bought. I'm trying to like mix it up with like things to buy. My next food order will include a bag of Hershey miniatures, which I'm very excited about. Oh, it's 4:26. I'll do like 3 more questions. Ulysses, I haven't heard anything about New Mutants. I'm sure that's like the least of Disney's concerns right now. Although I think they could make a pretty decent chunk of change off of it. But would they? I don't know. I think comic book fans would watch it, but let's see here. Desert Punk, do you still watch Watchmen? Well, it's over. I watched it when it aired, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't had Fig Newtons in such a long time. That was a blast from the past. Now you're making me want Fig Newtons. Lewis, I didn't buy any movies today because I've seen both those films. I was surprised how many people said they weren't buying stuff today. I was like, yee. Although they both shot to the top of iTunes right away. Tim, I have no idea how New York is because I can't leave my apartment. I have no idea what's going on out there. I can just click on stuff like you can. Bye, Dancing Dog 60. So I'll do one more. Oh, tomorrow we're going to do comic books, by the way. Tomorrow will be stacktastic. All right. Oh, Kenny, M&M cookies would be delicious. Let's see here. Matt says, Hickman's X-Men had some pretty good ideas, like the mutant religion. Do you think the ideas like this or other science fiction concepts could make it into the MCU? Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm not sure how they're going to have like all these different groups in the MCU. Like the Eternals seem very X-Men-y to me, so they're going to be like, over there are the Eternals, and over here are the X-Men. That seems like really complicated. But Kevin Feige has not faltered yet, so I'm going to assume that he can do it. That's just like what I think, so we'll see. So anyway, so yes, that's today's stream. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody's staying safe, and I hope everybody's sheltering in place. It's very important so that we can get this done with. And there will be another live stream tomorrow, and then also on Thursday, because there wasn't one yesterday because I had technical difficulties. I was like, I'm supposed to be streaming. God damn you, computer. All right, everybody, have a great afternoon, and stay tuned for that Harley Quinn review, probably going up maybe now at around 5:30. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.